Welcome to the 2023 CompTIA A+ 220-1101 hardware practice test. This test will have 20 questions with explained answers that will help you prepare for the test. Be sure to reboot that like button by turning it white. Now here's your CompTIA instructor to walk you through the questions.
Question 1. You are installing network cabling in a commercial building that has strict safety standards, and you want to ensure that in case of fire, the cabling produces minimal smoke and does not propagate flames. Which type of cabling should you use? A. Cabling with a PVC jacket. B. STP. C. Plenum rated cable. D. UTP. The correct answer is C. Plenum rated cable. Plenum rated cable is used to distribute cable into open air spaces above ceilings and below floors, which allow for air circulation in a large building. These areas can quickly spread smoke and fire in the case of an emergency. Therefore, plenum rated cabling is required to be ran through these spaces. Plenum rated cables are made from low smoke PVC, polyvinyl chloride, or FEP, fluorinated ethyl polymer, which produce fewer toxic chemicals when burned and do not spread flames as easily. Traditional network cabling is coated with PVC jackets. PVC is more flexible and less expensive to install, but gives off toxic smoke when burned. STP, shielded twisted pair, contains 4 pairs of wires. Each pair is wrapped in foil, and then all 8 wires are wrapped with another layer of foil to protect against EMI, electromagnetic interference, that can cause signal degradation and quality issues. UTP, unshielded twisted pair, as a less expensive solution that can be used where there is little chance of interference. They are the most common cabling type due to their light weight and low cost. Question 2. What abbreviations would you find on a cable with braided shielding around the entire cable and foil wrapped around each pair? A. S/FTP. B. F/UTP, C. S/UTP, D. U/UTP. The correct answer is A. S/FTP. The abbreviations used in cables are S. Braided shielding, F. Foil shielding, U. Unshielded. The formula is full cable / each wire pair, TP. Question 3. What is the correct color order for the wires in a T568A RJ-45 cable? A. Stripe orange, orange, stripe green, stripe blue, blue, green, stripe brown, brown. B. Stripe green, green, stripe orange, stripe blue, blue, orange, stripe brown, brown. C. Stripe blue, blue, stripe orange, stripe green, green, orange, stripe brown, brown. D. Stripe green, green, stripe brown, stripe blue, blue, brown, stripe orange, orange. The correct answer is B. Stripe green, green, stripe orange, stripe blue, blue, orange, stripe brown, brown. B is the correct order for T568A, and A is the correct order for T568B. An easy way to remember this is A is for green apple, since T568A starts with green. B is for basketball, which represents orange, the beginning wire in T568B cables. In these cables, the green and orange cables switch places. The blue and brown wires will always be in the middle, pins 4 and 5, and at the end, pins 7 and 8, respectively. Question 4. Which of the following is not an advantage of fiber optic cabling? A. Since it transmits data using light signals, it is immune to EMI and RF interference. B. Can transmit long distances, up to 100 kilometers. C. Fiber cabling is robust and resistant to damage. D. Higher bandwidth capabilities for a larger sized cable. The correct answer is C. Fiber cabling is robust and resistant to damage. Since fiber optic cabling is constructed with a glass or plastic core, they can be easily damaged and are not able to be bent around tight angles. Cracks, damage, and imperfections to the fiber core can cause severe connection quality issues. Fiber cabling holds many advantages because it transmits light rather than electrical signals. Radio frequency and electromagnetic interference have virtually no impact on signal quality, and signals are not able to be tapped into. Although fiber cabling is more expensive, it makes up for the cost in bandwidth performance over a small-sized cable. Single-mode fiber can travel distances of up to 100 kilometers, and multi-mode fiber can transmit data up to 2 kilometers. Question 5. Which USB connection type offers a 24-pin symmetrical input shape and is commonly seen in laptops and cell phones for data and power delivery? A. USB-A, B. USB micro-B, C. USB-C, D. USB-B. The correct answer is C. USB-C. USB-C improved on previous USB connector designs by allowing you to plug the connector in both ways. Previous designs were asymmetrical and notoriously difficult to connect on the first try. USB-A is the most recognizable connector type with a rectangular shape and asymmetrical connection method, and is significantly larger than USB micro-B and USB-C. USB micro-B is an asymmetrical connector that is still widely seen in phone charging ports. It is slightly smaller than the USB-C connector and has a flat trapezoid shape. USB-B is a larger, square-shaped connector type commonly seen on printers. Question 6. Which of the following is not a feature of Thunderbolt version 3? A. USB-C connector type, B. Daisy chain up to 8 devices, C. 40 gigabits throughput, D. Can send data and power over copper or fiber connections. The correct answer is B. Daisy chain up to 8 devices. You can link up to 6 devices together using Thunderbolt version 3 connections. Starting from a laptop, you can connect 5 additional devices to each other with a Thunderbolt cable between each one. Thunderbolt features an 80 gigabits throughput and is compatible with both fiber up to 60 meters and copper connections 3 meters. Thunderbolt version 3 also utilizes the USB-C form factor for easy connections. Question 7. You recently bought a laptop with 8 gigabytes of RAM. The laptop has an additional slot for memory to be installed. Which type of memory module is most used in laptops? A. DIMM, B. RDIMM, C. DDR-SD-RAM, D. SO-DIMM. The correct answer is D. SO-DIMM. SO-DIMM, small outline dual inline memory modules, are small form factor memory modules designed for laptops and other mobile devices that can be easily added, removed, and upgraded. DIMM, dual inline memory modules, are standard memory modules that you would find in a desktop computer. The term dual inline refers to the contacts on either side that allow for faster data transfer compared to SIMMs, single inline memory modules. RDIMM, registered DIMM, is a type of memory module that is designed for stability and reliability. This type of memory is commonly used in servers. DDR-SD-RAM, double data rate synchronous dynamic random access memory, is a technology standard for memory that has increased transfer rates and high capacity. DDR-SD-RAM is volatile, meaning that all data is lost when the device loses power. Question 8. You just bought a new RAM for a desktop computer. You attempt to install the DIMMs, but there is a notch in it that does not line up with the motherboard RAM slot. What is the problem? A. You purchased the wrong DDR type. B. You are installing the RAM modules backwards. C. The memory modules are designed for laptops. D. These are SIM modules. The correct answer is A. You purchased the wrong DDR type. RAM modules each come with a notch that prevents the wrong DDR type from being installed into incompatible systems. DIMMs can only be installed in one direction, and laptop memory comes in a smaller SO-DIMM format that is much smaller and is unlikely to be confused with desktop memory modules. Compatible memory modules will easily fit and click into the locking tabs on each side. SIM stands for Single Inline Memory Module and is no longer in use. The pins on SIM memory are all part of the same connection for both sides, where DIMM connectors are independent on each side. Example, DIMMs have double the connection points, hence dual inline, DIMM versus single inline, SIM. Question 9. Recently you noticed that your computer is running slower. You check Task Manager and Resource Monitor and notice that your RAM utilization is very high despite closing some applications. You plan on adding additional memory to your system soon, but what can you do to alleviate this issue until the upgrade takes place? A. Utilize virtual RAM. B. Change your RAM to multi-channel. C. Create a swap file. D. Both A and C. The correct answer is D. Both A and C. Virtual RAM or virtual memory allows your computer to use hard drive space to expand the amount of available memory it has available. If the data is not available in memory, it will check the hard disk. The CPU can run processes directly from virtual RAM. Swap file is a part of virtual memory that uses hard drive space when RAM is full. Windows and Linux systems make some hard drive space available for swapping by default, but the value can be increased if necessary. The swap space stores unused data from applications that are not in use, and the CPU will not directly access it. Dual-channel RAM is a hardware feature that depends on the DIMMs that are installed and the motherboard compatibility. With dual, triple, or quad-channel memory configurations, multiple identical RAM modules can work together on workloads that would usually be sent to an individual memory module. You can verify that your motherboard supports multi-channel RAM if the memory slots are 2 or more different colors. For this scenario, it would be worth it for the upcoming upgrade to include multi-channel memory if the motherboard supports it. Question 10. You are installing RAM on a new server and want to choose the best features to ensure that errors that cause downtime are discovered and corrected automatically. Which of the following types of RAM should you install? A. SD-RAM. B. Parity memory. C. ECC RAM. D. Dual-channel memory. The correct answer is C. ECC RAM. ECC, Error Correcting Code RAM, can detect errors in the memory and correct them in real time. It is important to pay attention to the features of your motherboard and memory to ensure that both can use ECC. SD-RAM, Synchronous Dynamic Random Access Memory, is a type of memory that processes information more efficiently due to synchronizing with the clock rate of the processor, enabling it to reach higher speeds. Parity memory adds an additional parity bit for every 8 bits of data. The value of the 8 bits is checked against the 9th bit for errors. If the result does not match up, the data is discarded. However, parity memory does not reliably detect errors and is unable to take action to correct errors. Dual-channel memory is a feature that allows multiple DIMMs to increase speed and performance by working together, but is not related to error correction. Question 11. You are shopping for a replacement SSD for your laptop. What form factor size are you most likely looking for? A. 1.5 inches, B. 2.5 inches, C. 3.5 inches, D. 5.25 inches. The correct answer is B. 2.5 inches. 2.5 inch is a common size for laptop magnetic and solid-state drives, SSD. SSD is also available in a 1.8 inch micro SATA form factor. 3.5 inch and 5.25 inch are also common sizes for drive bays designed for full-size HDD hard drive disks found in desktop computers. Question 12. Which of the following is not considered a small form factor storage device? A. SATA, B. NVMe, C. mSATA, D. M.2. The correct answer is A. SATA. SATA comes in 2.5 inches and 3.5 inches sizes and are not categorized as small form factor storage. All the other form factors listed are significantly smaller. Question 13. Which RAID type is also referred to as mirroring? A. RAID 1, B. RAID 0, C. RAID 5, D. RAID 10. The correct answer is A. RAID 1. RAID, redundant array of independent disks, is a method of using multiple storage drives together to increase performance, redundancy, and availability of data. RAID 1, also known as mirroring, copies data from one disk to another so that each disk is exactly the same. RAID 0, also referred to as stripping, divides the data across both drives. You double your drive space and performance, but if the disk fails, all the data is lost. RAID 5, or stripping with parity, uses the same technique from RAID 0 to increase performance. However, RAID 5 also distributes parity bits across all drives so that lost data from a failed disk can be rebuilt. RAID 5 requires at least 3 drives to work. RAID 10, or RAID 1+0, is a combination of striping and mirroring that requires at least 4 drives. For example, you would set 2 drives to striping, RAID 0, and 2 more drives to RAID 1 to mirror each of the original drives. Question 14. What is the fastest speed available for hard disk drives? A. 5.4 RPM, B. 7.2 RPM, C. 10 RPM, D. 15 RPM. The correct answer is D. 15 RPM. 15,000 RPM HDD offers a rotational latency of 2 milliseconds. This means that the mechanical arm can access and read data from any point on the platter in that time. 10,000 RPM drives have a rotational latency of 3 milliseconds, 7,200 RPMs around 4 milliseconds, and 4,500 RPMs at over 5.5 milliseconds. Question 15. Which of the following statements about flash memory is false? A. Volatile, B. Limited number of writes, C. Easy to lose or damage, D. Both A and B. The correct answer is A. Volatile. Flash memory is non-volatile, meaning that the data is still saved after the device is unplugged from your computer or laptop. Flash memory does have a limited number of writes. After data has been added to the device a certain number of times, the data becomes read-only. You will be able to view the data on the drive, but not add more. Flash drives are not recommended as a backup medium. The devices are small and easy to lose or damage. Question 16. You create a RAID 5 array with 3 500 gigabyte disks. How much usable storage capacity is available? A. 500 gigabytes, B. 1,000 gigabytes, C. 1.2 terabytes, D. 1.5 terabytes. The correct answer is B. 1,000 gigabytes. In a RAID 5 array, one drive can experience a failure without data loss. The equivalent of one drive, in this case, 500 gigabytes of storage space, is distributed across all the drives as parity information. This allows data from the failed drive to be rebuilt once the failed drive is replaced. In this case, we have 3 500 gigabyte storage drives. 1/3 of the available storage space will be used for parity, leaving 1,000 gigabytes, 1 terabyte, for storage. Question 17. You want to build a small computer to stream media to your living room television. You want this computer to be as small as possible, and you don't need extra expansion slots. What motherboard form factor should you use? A. Micro ATX, B. ATX, C. ITX, D. EATX. The correct answer is C. ITX. ITX, Information Technology Extended, is a small form factor motherboard that is perfect for building a low-profile media streaming computer. ITX motherboards lack extra expansion slots found on larger motherboards. The most common is Mini ITX, 6.7 times 6.7 inch. ITX motherboards have screw placement holes that are compatible with any case designed for ITX motherboards. ATX, Advanced Technology Extended, is the standard size, 12 by 9.6 inch, for a desktop motherboard and offers additional expansion slots and features that can be used for almost any purpose: gaming, video editing, productivity, etc. Micro ATX 9.6 times 9.6 inch is a smaller form factor that offers many of the same features in a smaller package but will likely have fewer expansion slots. EATX Extended ATX is a larger 12 by 13 inch but more expensive motherboard form factor that offers more room for airflow, expansion slots, and larger components, such as graphics processing unit that would not fit in a case designed for a standard ATX motherboard and would work well in a server. Question 18. You are building a new gaming and multimedia computer and want to install a GPU and audio card for advanced functionality. Which type of expansion slot will you use to install these components? A. PCIe, B. PCI, C. SATA, D. M.2. The correct answer is A. PCIe. PCIe, Peripheral Component Interconnect Express, replaces the PCI expansion standard and uses a serial connection compared to the PCI parallel connection. PCIe slots come in a multiple versions based on how many serial lanes are available to communicate. The more lanes, the more data can be transferred. For example, by 1, by 2, by 4, by 8, by 16, and by 32. SATA, Serial AT Attachment, is a connection standard used to connect storage devices to a motherboard. They can be identified by L-shaped power and data connections. M.2 is a small form factor expansion technology that uses the mini PCIe form factor expansion technology to support wireless, Bluetooth, and NVMe SSD storage devices. Question 19. You are connecting cables from your power supply to your motherboard. You find a cable with 20 pins with an additional 4-pin adapter. What is the purpose of this connection? A. This connector is compatible with both 20-pin and 24-pin motherboard power connections. B. The 4-pin connection adds additional power to the PCIe slots. C. The 20-pin connection provides power to the motherboard. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of the above. This 24-pin connection makes it compatible with both 20-pin and 24-pin motherboard power connections. This is a keyed connection, meaning that each pin has a different shape to make sure that the cable is not connected backwards. 4 additional pins are added to power the PCI slots in modern motherboards. Additional power cables from the power supply will be used to provide power to the CPU, ATX 12-volt, PCIe devices that require more power than the motherboard can provide, and SATA devices. Question 20. You recently finished building a computer, and you are ready to turn the computer on. You press the power button, but nothing happens. You notice that there are cables coming from the case that are not connected properly into the motherboard. What is the issue? A. Your power supply is not switched on or plugged in. B. You need to plug in the front panel connectors to the appropriate pins. C. Make sure that the 24-pin ATX power is connected properly. D. The cables are for powering the USB connections and are not the cause of the problem. The correct answer is B. You need to plug in the front panel connectors to the appropriate pins. The unconnected cables from the case are more likely the front panel connections. These cables connect to pins on the motherboard that allow the power button, reset button, HDD activity light, and front USB panels to work. It is a common mistake to forget to turn on or plug in the power supply right after building a computer. You will want to make sure that the power supply is unplugged and turned off until you have connected the front panel connections. If the issue is not corrected after front panel connections are plugged into the appropriate pins, you might want to check other connections like the 24-pin ATX power.
Thank you for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Check out these videos that can help you with your CompTIA exam. If you need more help beyond these videos, we have free practice tests on our website. We have all the links down in the description below. Don't forget to reboot that like button and subscribe to our channel.